Your life is a summation of your daily thoughts and habits. And for 10 to 15 minutes a day, those thoughts and habits need to be tuned into the market, figuring out which way your favorite stocks and ETFs are going and if they're offering themselves up to you for a practice trade. Now let's jump first into the S&P 500. By the way, stocks, bonds, and gold down. I'm sorry, stocks, Bitcoin, and gold down. Bonds are the only thing that's up just a little bit. We see with the S&P 500 down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. The good news is we've gotten to the bottom of this grayed-in area between these two lines here. That means the STC is reset. We are poised to ride things up if indeed that happens. Why? Because, of course, the STC is reset on the half-day chart, two-day chart. Good news, it is green. Maybe it will push through with some earnestness on this 200 EMA. And when we look at the weekly, where are we there? While it's going up also, we do see where it's slowing down, not reaching a higher high yet in a smaller candle, but we are green on the STC, which is good news. And we will just see if indeed, as the week goes along, we may have things switch over, go green on the STC, and allow us to jump into an up move. Now we see the opposite potential here on the NASDAQ 100. What's going on there? Down in the morning, further down in the afternoon, went from green to red. And of course, we have things, again, popping up and rolling over. Now, we are paying attention to exactly what has gone on. Things, again, did not move all the way to the bottom on our red STC. So even though we did this practice trade back there, didn't do too much for us. We talked about the problems you would have with it. We were still green. However, we've seen things now reinitiate a down move on the STC, and we will reluctantly, and there's some reasons for the reluctance here, we'll show you why, but again, we'll pull the trigger on this practice trade because it's worth learning from it. Now, what are the bad things about where we are? Well, the 2-day is in a green up move. We can see again where things haven't peaked for a while since we saw them peak back on the 14th. They've slowed down quite a bit, but the STC, of course, is still quite positive on the intermediate chart. Where are we on that weekly chart? Weekly chart also just 2 weeks ago crossed over going up and is above the 200 EMA. So we don't have those things working for us. Is it possible that we could jump in and pull a winner out of a hat here? Well, we shall give that a try, look and see. Moving in the right direction, 3.20% is what we're looking for, risking 1.60%. There are problems with this. We again learn from what happened on this last one. We will see if this one makes sense. Of course, you never have to pull the trigger on these questionable practice trades, but we do it because we want you to see what works and what doesn't work. Now, when we jump into the ones where everything is set up perfect, we have a plus 15 or a negative 15 on the success multiplier formula, going in the right direction, all things loaded for bear. You guys know how well those work. And again, my question to you is, why would you not wait for those to set up time and time again? Maybe a thing or two that's not quite perfect, but we're betting against what here? We're betting against the 2-day and we're betting against the weekly. Now, how could we win? Well, we could win because everything has topped and everything is rolling down. This is the leading edge of that roll down. But I'll tell you what we learn over and over again is calling a top or calling a bottom is very, very hard to do. But taking the chunk out of the middle when everything's going in your direction is always the best policy. But again, We'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. We'll learn as we move through it. Where are we on 20-year bonds? Still going up, still very negative. You can see we're below the 200 EMA on this half-day chart. Up in the morning, losing some in the afternoon, for the day up 0.28%. Where are we on the 2-day? 2-day is green and going up nicely. Again, though, still well below. I have to really sink. There we go. Crank that in. We're well below the 200 EMA on that half-day chart. On the weekly, we're again well below the 200 EMA going into the third week of up movement. Things popped around last week on the STC. So where are we on these 20-year bonds? We are waiting for things to clear above this 200 EMA. It's been green for quite a while after bonds had been down for a long time. So we'll continue to watch, see how bonds set themselves up. If they make any trades available in the future, it might be a while. Had a lot of good negative trades along the way. Let's see where things, we would call them inverse trades with TBF, which is the single inverse fund for bonds. Let's look at gold. Gold has been in the red for a while on the STC. We had a day and a half of up movement, moving back down again on gold. We look at where gold is on our chart as far as the STC goes. Is the EMA, that's the exponential moving average. We are above that, heading down, been in the red for a while. We're waiting for that to go to green. Hasn't gone to green in a while on the STC. We look at where we are on the 2-day. 2-day is below the 200 EMA. We had some real up movement pushing it up, and then over the last 3 2-day candles, we see where that has been losing some of that energy, though still green on the STC. And on the weekly, the weekly is above the 200 EMA, but again, we can see where this weakness has been coming in over the last few weeks, still green on the STC. So at some point, we would love to see gold take off again, go from red to green and give us a jumping in point as it just, sort of digests those prior gains and then takes off again. Not happening today. Lastly, we go to Bitcoin. Where are we with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin has, of course, gotten hammered a lot lately, moved up for 2 days and down for the day today, down 1.82%. This is, of course, the Bitcoin short-term future close month ETF. We track that every day. You can find this in the market. It is an ETF. You don't have to go to a crypto exchange in order to play with this one. So again, would just encourage you to practice trade it. Again, there is no trade in Bitcoin now. Hasn't been a trade in Bitcoin for quite a while as we look at where we had hoped things would settle out, somewhere around that 1820 mark or so. We had things tracking along for a while. Well, of course, we took that big dive last week down to a low of 1526, and now we're somewhere in that 1606 spot. Again, we look at this weekly chart and you can see where that hammer down took place. And as we take a look at all that Bitcoin has lost over these last many months, we are, of course, waiting for market capitulation. And my latest In the Driver's Seat video that I put out today, you will see me talking exactly about market capitulation, waiting to see when that occurs on Bitcoin. We will see it on our charts after it has occurred and things turn around. When will it take place? It could be next week. It could be 6 months. It could be 6 years from now. We don't know. But when it occurs, we will see it, because we chart Bitcoin each and every day, as you should too. We only started charting Bitcoin because you guys asked us to. And we did, and we had some nice trades on it. But we have been talking for the last many months to be out of it because there was nothing to gain by something that was falling like a stone. We don't stay in losers. Losers stay in losers. If you see charts that look like this and you are still in them, you're not training very well. And again, we want you to practice trade with us to learn how to do things right, That's where we are, folks, as we end the day. Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. We love always to hear from all of you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.